So today I found one of these tubes in all of my uncle's old glass. So this is one that he has built. Very well could be one of the last tubes he built. I don't know. I'm noticing his welds aren't much better than mine on this bigger glass. But somehow he made it all stick, so whatever. I'm curious if it'll light up, if there's anything in it, how long he's had it. Get my nifty little light up tool here. Yep, there's neon in there. So that does in fact light up with some neon. But I think it's got a leak. And the reason I say that is while there's some gas in there, it's not very bright. And it's kind of bluish looking, except for right there. So I don't know. So there is some juice in there. I still think there's a leak at his weld. Yep. So there is a leak at his weld. I thought it was glowing weird, like a weird color. And it is. And that's because right there, you see how that arc went to that one spot right there? That's a leak. So, moral of that story, even my uncle's glass has a leak. And hitting it with that deal, with the coil, made the leak bigger. There's almost no gas in there anymore. So, I wanted to see one of my uncle's lights light up. Kind of got it to light up, but now it's not going to light up. I've got some glass here that we're going to work with. See what size this is. It is smaller than 14. So there's some 12. This is what a lot of people have been saying to start with is 12. I got a 15 done the other day that I didn't get put on the video. Let's see here. So this was the weld here on the 15. Let me see if this thing will point down a little bit. Right there. You know, not super pretty, but one thing I did notice about that is I didn't see any seams. There's a little bit of a seam right there, but not horrible. And right there. So this piece of glass, once I get the manifold done, I should be able to light that as my first piece of glass. Let's do some file work on this. Cut this guy in a couple of pieces, and see if I can weld it back together. Not a pretty cut, but it works. Much cleaner cut. Super clean cut. Just hit it with a file and it just breaks like a toothpick. Last one, we'll do this one more time. You just hit it with this file, put it at a 45-degree angle, run it across there a couple times. I'm about at the point I need to sharpen my file, but I can finish tonight. So you stick it on there at a 45. run it back and forth a little bit. You'll put a little score on it. See if I can get it in there. Right there. And then it just breaks right apart. Almost forgot. My nerd glasses. So one thing I found once I got these glasses is I think part of my problem welding together at the beginning was I was keeping it in the fire too hot before I put them together. So what was happening is instead of just the tips getting hot and molten, it was melting everything way back into the back. So when that happened and I put them together, it just created a nasty area of weld. So the next times I tried some that I didn't record where I would get the tips hot with the glasses. I could see when the tips only got hot, just the tips. They got hot, put them together, stuck them back in the flame, rotated them, then pulled them out of the fire, pulled them back apart slightly while blowing into the tube, and I got pretty decent welds that way. So some of you guys that have done this, correct me if that's not the way to do it. But what I was having a problem with before, I'd put it in the fire, they'd both get so hot, half-inch of each end of the tube would be molten red. I'd put them together, and then it would just turn into a mess. And the weld would never really hold because I couldn't put any force together to put them together. Anyway, try it again with 12 millimeter, see what happens. Got the nerd glasses on though. Surprisingly, these glasses work. Microphone was a little bit in the way. The glasses work. We're going to try putting this right on the fire so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. First, I'm getting the glass in there, starting back in the back like that, just to make sure that we're not, the glass is all kind of warm. Then I'm going to throw it into the fire and keep rotating it at the same time. I'm getting just the tips of both of these red hot. Bring it out of the fire, put them together, rotate after I put them back in the fire. And I forgot to put the blow hose in my mouth. So hopefully this works. So that's that. Now, I did that one wrong. I didn't have the blow hose in my mouth. So I wasn't able to blow on it because I was more concentrated with getting the camera right. My bad. So I'll get another one here. Okay, we're going to put that one off to the side, let it just kind of cool down a little bit. We got some more glass here. I got the blow hose in my mouth. We're going to try to start out like so, get the glass kind of hot. Same thing over here. Now once they're hot, we're going to get them hotter here in the fire. Tips go red, put them together. Right there. It's still a little, but that right there welded together. And pretty good looking weld, really. It's black. I haven't figured out what to do about that yet. The flame is, made the weld black. I don't know. But that, let's see if I can get that weld in there. Get my arm behind it so you can kind of see it there. Better. I got to figure this out for my manifold. My manifold right here uses, just like this side, it's 10 millimeter glass over here. But that 10 mil glass, I need to get, let me try to fix this. I need to get that 10 mil glass to weld to 5 mil. Not sure how to do that yet. I've tried a few times. It always leaks, comes apart. Trying to extend the manifold basically is what I'm doing. I need clear glass to do it, but I tried to make a new manifold piece here. Come out of the manifold. I'm guessing that's going to be more like a mercury trap right there so that it catches anything down here and doesn't let it get in or back into the manifold. And then it came out over here, and this thing was like this long. But every time I try to weld this, I'd get it there and then it wouldn't hold, and then you cut back so much until you don't have any left to cut back. I don't know. I know that's not clear glass, and I'm not going to want to use this for manifold glass. I'm just trying to test and get it working. So I know I need to order some 10 mil clear glass. If somebody gives me an idea how to weld these 5 mil pieces of glass to 10 mil so that I can get my manifold going again, I need that information. So that was 12 mil over there. I've got a 10 mil piece here. I'm going to cut it. Remember, score it. And it just comes right apart when you put some tension to it. So we're going to do the same thing right there. Back to that 10 mil into 5 mil. I don't know if I need to get 10 mil, weld it to an 8 mil, then weld that 8 mil to a 6 mil, then to a 5. I don't know. But we got to figure that out. Anyway, scored right here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it's super hard to see. But then you just give it a little bit and it comes apart. That one didn't come super nice, so I didn't score that one enough. So let me get rid of that extra junk right there. Scored it. Just breaks right off. Let me do the same to this side because that's not pretty. Okay, let's get them hot. Got them hot, put them together. While they're together, get them hot. You'll almost see that seam go away while you're getting it hot, which is super cool. That wasn't as tipped off as I thought it was, blowing hot air through there. Yeah, there it is right there. I'm over here and you weren't really see, I guess you can see the fire there. So here's that first one I did. It's good. It's holding together. The weld looks good, albeit a little bit blackened. I think it had something to do with the fire. And I think I know, let's try to put the fire the way I think he was describing it needed to be. I don't think it was hot enough. Hot enough, but I don't think it had enough oxygen in it. Get my flame a little more blue. And let's put these together and see what it does. Problem is, it is a lot hotter now. So when I put these together, it's going to weld quickly. Y'all see what I just did? I almost didn't put the caps on. So what I tried to do there, one, I had the fire hotter, and two, put it back in the fire because I still saw a seam. But notice right here how much black is in that. Let's see if I can. Okay, whatever. So it's not going to do that. But look at that one. Right, let's bring it up closer to me. Let's see if I bring me closer. See how black that is? That one looks better. And all I did was turn the heat up a little bit. Less gas. Or, yeah, less gas, more air. So that's 12 mil. Now, to compare this 12 mil, you know, all you guys said practice on the big stuff. Well, some of you did. Some of you said practice on little stuff, then you go to the big stuff. Fact is, I'm out of 15 mil big stuff. Sort of. We were trying to build this little bulb here at the end for a mercury trap out of the 15 mil. Not any good at that. So, tell you what, let's do this. I also tried to make some ends here, and this little thing here at a 15 mil. That's ugly. I was doing my turns. This is the last place you're ever going to see these. Those are ugly. So let me see here if I can clean this up. I'm going to use the Kitco cutter. And we're going to score that, because I learned this was the better way of doing it. Score it. Like so, right? There's a little score right there. And then put my little wire here, turn that down a little bit, over the score, like so. So it's touching the scored glass. Then squeeze her down, wait its time. What's going to happen is I'm going to hear that glass crack. I just heard it crack once. Generally I hear twice most of the time. That was a pretty loud crack though, so once is probably all I'm going to need on this one. Okay, pull the Kitco cutter off, and it just taps right off. Here's 15 mil glass. This is all the 15 mil I've got left. So we're gonna do this and we're gonna compare it to some of my first welds, because this is super ugly. But those are my first welds. Do you remember these things from that first video? This might be the second video, because the first video they didn't even hold together. I don't even think I have any of the first welds, but it's on video, so there's proof. These glasses here help a ton. Mark did recommend getting these, you know, for no cataracts as well. Yes, for those of you first timers out here, we are outside. We're in a barn. The bottom half is open, so I can only do this when there's no wind out. So if any of y'all see anything I'm doing wrong, you can also tell me. If they're hot, put them together. Keep them together, get them hot. Melt the glass together. Okay. Not pretty, but y'all, that is way nicer than some of those first welds for that 15 mil. Let me see if I can kind of compare these, right? This is this weld just now, right? You just saw me do this weld, right? And compared to my first ones, not bad. This one, you know, that's so gross. Look how thick that glass is in there. That's going to break at some point, right? I think so. You can see the seam. You've got built up glass, you know, right there. Look at that. Even here, you know, that's closer to better. But these were the welds. And I remember after doing these, I was damn proud of myself because I got them to stick. But they're ugly. And when I try to put vacuum to them, I bet they leak. And look, I blew that one too high on that. So I messed that guy up, and I'm sure it's got a leak. That's probably going to leak right there and right there, if I were to guess. So that was those. And those aren't even the first one. Those are just recently. And then now that one, well, right there. While it's not perfectly in line with the tube and look amazing, the glass looks pretty close to the right thickness all the way through it, I think. Give me your thoughts on the video. So this here is one that I did the other day. That's not the one I just did. This is the one I did the other day when I think I finally learned what I was doing wrong. It started with that, and I was like, oh, I got close. I almost knew what I did different. So then I came back and did this one, and I don't see any seams in that one. And I think my seams were the big problem. Tell me what you got to notice. Some of y'all have been doing this a while anyway. I'm going to get it hot-ish. Okay, just preheating the glass a little bit. Now we're gonna that's never gonna work. See how uneven that cut is? Stand by. Much better. Take two. Put them together. And rotate them in the fire. Get them super, super hot. You'll almost watch that line go. There it went. Pull it out. It's not straight. I didn't put it down on a pattern or anything. I'm really bad at that part of keeping the weld straight. But here it is. That's a pretty rough little spot right there. But I should be able to clean that up. It's just a little bit of a crease, but it's not actually overlapping anything. I don't know if I can do this. Heating it back up and cleaning it back up. Almost made it worse. I did make it worse, really. It's got a weird little deal in there now where it tried to see that spot. It like tried to crease and then I blew it back out. I don't think it's savable. So I cleaned it up. But it's still got that impurity in there. I don't know what that is. Maybe a piece of dirt, dust. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today. Those are my welds on 15 mil. Now that I've played around with some 10 mil and some 12 mil and think I kind of figured out what I was doing wrong. Now it's just going to take more practice and more glass because that's the last 15 mil I've got. So I need some 15 mil and I need some 10 mil clear. So my next project. All right. This video is way shorter. I'm going to try to keep them under 15, 20, 25 minutes from here out. Y'all have a good one. Until, what is this, episode 3? We'll do episode 4 next time I've got some no wind conditions. Getting used to those glasses.